FIABCI, the International Real Estate Federation, was founded in Paris, France, following the Second World War, when a non-governmental entity was needed to contribute to the rebuilding of the economy in Europe and later in Japan. The year 1946 had already marked the first international meeting with the informal presence of several guests from Belgium, United States, and Switzerland on the occasion of the French National Congress of Property Managers in Paris. The year after, in 1947, the French dedicated themselves to networking and making contacts with Germany, Austria, Belgium, Spain, the Netherlands, Italy, and Switzerland. Then in 1948, Pierre Colville organized the first official World Congress in Paris in the presence of international delegates. Finally, on June 2, 1951, at the Second World Congress, the International Confederation of Property Managers was jointly created by Germany, Austria, Belgium, United States, and France. During the process of restructuring and rebuilding Europe, the international dimension of real estate boomed, particularly in the residential sector, spearheaded by industry professionals such as property managers and brokers. In 1956, the association adopted the name International Federation of Property Managers and Real Estate Consultants, French acronym FIABCI, and in 1964, that of International Real Estate Federation, FIABCI. Since then, FIABCI has continuously evolved to become the most representative non-political organization for all professionals associated with the real estate industry.
As time went by, other disciplines were gradually incorporated into FIABCI, from real estate development to valuation, in addition to the commercial segment of the industry, thus becoming increasingly multidisciplinary and multi-sectoral. Such diversity shapes FIABCI's expertise to this day through a community that represents over 10 major professions in brokerage, management, architecture, real estate development, construction, investment, appraisal, among others, and over 40 specializations.
Hello everyone, and warm greetings. I'm glad to share a few thoughts about FIABCI, which I joined in 1979, some 43 years ago. At that time, I was based in London. My company served clients as brokers, appraisers, property managers, and consultants. We had reached the point where doing business overseas was a legitimate ambition, and it made obvious sense for me to become a member of the International Real Estate Federation. From the beginning, I was captivated by the unique qualities of this remarkable organization. Here was a network of professionals in all parts of the world wanting to cooperate together. But it was so much more. Its yearly World Congresses were vitally important events in the global real estate calendar, reported on widely in the property press. It also had a strong presence locally, nationally, and regionally. Not surprisingly, this resulted in enduring friendships between members, their families, and their colleagues. These friendships were, above all, based on trust and integrity, and respect for widely differing lifestyles, cultures, and traditions. Although the primary motivation was quite rightly doing business successfully across national boundaries, FIABCI has diversified greatly since its founding over 70 years ago. It has developed its own professional agenda and has established world councils to serve specialist disciplines such as management, brokerage, valuation, and development. It is active in real estate education with distinguished universities as academic members, a scholarship foundation, a long history of student exchanges, and most recently, an internship program. Today, the strength of FIABCI lies not only in its diversity, but in an adherence to what might be termed the new worldwide morality of the 21st century. It is that free markets and private enterprise function best when there is a recognition and acceptance of their responsibility to underprivileged people and to society as a whole. Hence, FIABCI's work at the United Nations, its promotion of environmental housing, and its commitment to conservation, sustainability, and environmental protection.
The World Congress is one of the main purposes and the origin of FIABCI's creation. Starting with the first International Congress held in Paris in 1948, FIABCI's major events opened the doors of its community to the global real estate profession through the cities that hosted them. This value proposition is reflected in the languages adopted by FIABCI, particularly English, French, German, Japanese, and Spanish, which are the 5 official languages. These languages facilitated a continuing dialogue between real estate practitioners worldwide. In addition, the different themes of the congresses held over the last 70 years illustrate the engagement of FIABCI in embracing all aspects of the real estate industry, providing access and opportunities for real estate professionals interested in gaining knowledge, sharing information, and conducting international business with each other. On the philanthropic side, as a world organization, FIABCI has always sought to give back to the industry and benefit others. It is embedded in the Federation's culture and reflected by the efforts in helping the United Nations to address serious housing and environmental issues worldwide through its roster status, obtained in 1971, followed by a special consultative status at the United Nations Economic and Social Council, obtained in 1996. In addition, delegates from FIABCI actively participate in programs relevant to the preparation and implementation of the urban agenda worldwide.
The advent of information technology in the 1990s changed business reality as we knew it. Real estate was not immune from the tech boom, particularly when it came to modern forms of communication such as the internet and email. The new reality helped to promote a culture of innovation and development of new technologies and solutions to serve the industry, which today is one of FIABCI's core values. So it was only fitting that some of the congresses organized during this period featured the topic of technology and innovation. For example, Melbourne in 1988 with Real Estate in a Technological World, Vienna in 1989 with Innovation Renovation, and Paris in 1995 with the real estate professions facing the evolution of the world 20 years later. The 1990s were also marked by the launch of important events for the industry, starting with MIPIM in 1990. MIPIM is an international property fair hosted in Cannes, France every March by one of our long-term global partners, RX France.
The very first steps between FIABCI and MIPIM took place in France and in America. In America, at first, we did the first trip in New York City to of course, see professionals in America, and a lady gave for us a big cocktail party to give us the opportunity to talk about MIPIM and the MIPIM concept. This lady was Suzanne Greenfield, your president, your world president. Thank you again, Suzanne. A little anecdote. At the end of my speech at this time, Suzanne told me, "Do you know, Thierry, that you have a very nice French accent?" French accent, no doubt. When I came back to France, of course, I had several contacts with the French president at this time, Jean-Claude Ancel, and a wonderful guy who was the Secretary General, Andrew Irvine, a so nice guy. Very rapidly, we extended our partnership in the various regions of the world. In America, for instance, with the different the various presidents, Sheldon Good, Nestor Weigand, Owen Green, and my friend Julian Joseph. In Latin America, with Luis Carlos de Almeida. In Asia, with Hajime Tsuboi for Japan. And a wonderful man, an exceptional professional, Daniel Theo Ong, who was so helpful. He gave a lot of cocktail parties and lunches in Singapore to help us, and also for the MIPIM Asia. All of them were really helpful for us to understand the concept of the various regions, the profession, the specificities of the profession in the various countries. FIABCI is the international federation for real estate professionals. MIPIM is the exhibition, 4 days exhibition taking place in Cannes for real estate professionals. It was quite logical for them to meet together and, of course, to work together. To conclude, I would like to insist on one point. Of course, there are a lot of common points between FIABCI and MIPIM, but one, in my opinion, is essential. It is France. 70 years ago, Pierre Colville created FIABCI in Paris. A little bit more than 30 years ago, a French team created MIPIM in the south of France in Cannes. A French team I had the privilege to manage. Thank you to all of you. Thank you to all the FIABCI members. Thank you, FIABCI. It's really a question of friendships.
Then in 1991, FIABCI presented for the first time in its long history one of the essential value propositions of the organization for the industry, the FIABCI Award of Excellence, which later in 1998 would become FIABCI World Prix d'Excellence Awards. Known as the Oscar of the international real estate sector, this unique award has continued to embody excellence of numerous phenomenal real estate projects worldwide for almost 30 years.
FIABCI has grown and evolved with every new challenge the world and its real estate industry have faced throughout the past 7 decades. Fast forward to the present day, from the threat of climate change to the importance of conservation of heritage, our federation recognizes that the real estate profession must accept a fair share of this challenge and be part of the solution. As such, sustainability is today at the core of FIABCI's values, whether by cooperating with the UN Habitat for the sustainable urban development of cities in line with the United Nations Sustainable Development Goals, or by signing off on the 10 principles of the UN Global Compact, among other initiatives. People are the main asset of the FIABCI organization. As such, for 70 years, in compliance with its statutes, Article 3, one of FIABCI's main purposes is to defend on a worldwide level the collective moral and professional interests of its members and those of the groups it represents. Indeed, FIABCI aims to benefit its members and the real estate industry worldwide through a community of action focusing on sustainable membership value. It does so by developing profitable products, services and projects and soundly managing the organization for the benefit of its members. This is only achievable with a high commitment to professional standards and business ethics, being the reason why FIABCI is a founding member of the International Ethics Standards Coalition.
On a personal note, FIABCI has a special significance to my wife Carrie and myself. In fact, we spent the first week of our honeymoon in 1985 attending the World Congress in Rome. Since then, many FIABCI members have been among our closest lifelong friends. In more recent years, Carrie and I have moved to the United States. I cannot thank the members of the US chapter enough for the warm welcome they have given us over the last 25 years. Finally, I would like to say a word about some of the past FIABCI leaders who sadly are no longer with us. Over the years, I have been privileged to know them and to work with them. They have been friends, teachers, and above all, a source of inspiration. They include Hajime Tsuboi and Jun Ichiro Tanaka from Japan, René-François Richardière and Jean-Claude Amsel from France, Glyn Ng from Taiwan, Chiputra and Terry Sonneville from Indonesia, Willie Eggerly from Switzerland, Luis Carlos Almeida from Brazil, Phil Smaby, Ralph Pritchard, René Frank, and Danielle Grossenbacher from the USA, and Alan Hood from the United Kingdom. They and so many others have laid sound foundations for the federation we have today, and we can look to FIABCI's future with pride and confidence. Thank you.
Founded in France by 5 organizations from Austria, Belgium, France, Germany and USA, FIABCI is now present in 5 continents through 50 national and multinational chapters. Its operations are spread over 5 continents in 4 principal regions: Africa and Near East, Americas, Asia-Pacific and Europe. FIABCI is an umbrella organization with more than 100 principal members, national associations and disciplines, 2,300 regular members in over 72 countries, and more than 1 million affiliates around the world.